How to change the oil on your car. To start, the following materials are needed. Mechanic tool set or socket set. Car ramps. Flat oil bucket. Funnel. Torque wrench. Oil filter, strap wrench, or other oil filter removal tools. And of course 5 to 7 quarters of oil. The first step is to place the ramps. Make sure your tires are facing directly forward and your ramps are placed centered to the tire. So you should have the same amount of ramp on each side of the tire. Make sure the ramps are parallel to each other and they protrude about the same amount from the front of the car. Slowly but surely roll the car up the ramps. Make sure you stop as soon as you feel that your car is secure on the flat part of the ramps. Note, make sure your parking brake is set and your car is on gear or park before you get off the car. Push the car down and up a few times and make sure it's secure on the ramps. And no part of your tire should be hanging off the ramps. Brake torque on the oil drip pan plug. Put your bucket under the plug and loosen the plug the rest of the way by hand. At this point, some oil will start dripping out, and as soon as you take out the plug, a steady stream of oil should come out. At the point where the oil leaking out is very little to nothing, put the oil drip pan plug back in and tighten it all the way as much as you can by hand. Set your strap wrench on a ratchet. At this point, you're gonna be taking out the oil filter. Place the strap wrench around the oil filter. Start tightening the rod with the ratchet. At this point, tighten until the strap is secured around the oil filter. Place the rod perpendicular to the oil filter and turn the oil filter counterclockwise. Once you break torque off the oil filter, loosen it the rest of the way by hand. Make sure your bucket is directly underneath the oil filter so it catches any oil leaking out of your oil filter. Once you get your oil filter out, make sure a gasket comes out with the oil filter. If that gasket stays in the car, you run the risk of double gasketing the next oil filter, and that would make it leak tremendously. Lubricate the new gasket on the new oil filter with some oil. Place the oil filter in its receptacle and tighten clockwise, hand tight. Good and tight, do not over tighten it. Set your torque wrench to the value specified on the maintenance manuals. Torque the oil drip pan plug. At this point, remove the oil filler cap. and start filling up your engine with oil. Check the dipstick sporadically. Remember that since the car is still on ramps, the reading's not gonna be completely accurate, but fill it out anywhere from half full to full, which in my car took about 4 quarts. After checking the dipstick, put the dipstick back in its place and make sure the oil filler cap is back on. Turn it on, listening for leaks, and back it off the ramp. Keep it running, put it on park if automatic, put it on neutral and engage the brake if manual. At this point, do a quick look around and make sure there's no leaks under the car. Then turn it off. Check the dipstick again and add small amounts of oil until the oil level is right below the full mark. This last adding of oil is important since when you turned the car on earlier, oil filled up the oil filter and oil levels went down. At this point, put back the dipstick in the car and make sure the oil filler cap is back in place. At this point, pick up your tools and you are done, son.